Good morning, everybody. This is Max Farrell. This is DexTrader.com. This is Trading Live with Max on the daily signals. It's about 8:46. We just had a signal fire off for the Euro, Great Britain pound on a sell. I'm going to jump over to Nadex. Yes, we are using our demo account here. Okay, so we're looking for the Euro, Great Britain pound. I'm going to look at my chart here as well. I'm looking, let me pick up the numbers that we were on. 87.8760. 8760. To make sure we even have something that's good. 8760. We're going to look for 11 a.m. 8760 is right there. We're sitting at right between 8733. It's pretty high up. Let me see if I can shoot a choke on this one. And how I check that is I simply isolate the actual pair. I go for the direction on the sell. And then I look for anything under 20 pips. Looks like there's quite a bit under 20 pips. So it does seem to resonate back towards the center with a few outliers at 96.1%. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come back here. I'm going to put a working order on for $22, and I'm going to place the order. That's simple. If it does come back and get filled, it has a 96% chance to get filled, 96.1% chance. So I'm okay with that. I'm not going to choke it up and take my chances today with a 50% chance that it could not hit the come back up on the 87.40. But there'll be other signals on, so I protect myself and I'm on board, and we're ready to go. I'm in a little bit early. I should also check the news forecast. Oh, right, wrong one. Oh, gotta log back in. Let me get over to signals, basics. And tap the news. It looks like right around 10:30 we have a large amount of USD news moving. This might be something that right around 10:15, if it has filled, I might look to be getting out if it's pretty close, because that's a lot of movement that could happen on the USD. You'll probably see a lot of actual movement on that market for the 11 o'clock signal. So I probably would ignore any of the 11 o'clock signals today and go from there. Yeah, because that's a lot of crude oil movement. USD C80 is going to be around and through the roof all over the place. So just keep that in mind. All right, I'm Max. We'll see you. Now listen, if it gets filled or if any other signals come out, I'll keep you apprised. We'll keep looking. We'll keep looking at this news for 11 o'clock. I don't think I'm going to do any trading for 11 o'clock from this point. In fact, I'm going to go back and I'm going to remove this little bugger right here. Just because, you know, the 11 o'clock with the 10:30 news is always tough. You get some last second losers, and I just don't want that to be the Fed today. All right, so we'll go back and I'll leave this little bit on here, and if we have anything else to trade on from 11 o'clock to 3 o'clock, I'll be back on there for there. Hi everybody, we're back, and here's another signal in here. It's another Euro Great Britain pound at 12:15, headed out for expiry at 1500. That's 3 o'clock. I'm going to head over. We're looking at 87.40. Let's see. Come down here and hit refresh. Binaries, Euro Great Britain pound. We're going to do 3 p.m. 87.40. It's not looking too bad. Let me see. What was that? Was that a buy or so? It was a sell. 87.40. Looks like we're in a prime market right now. 87.40. I'm going to grab onto it right now. I'm going to not even do a limit order. I'm going to do a market order, so it goes immediately. Close. There we go. 87.40 with the sell. It's picked up and it's on. Okay, 87.40 sell, 1500. Got it all. Now, has a 96% success rate. 96.1. So I think we're doing pretty good. If we look at any of the sells here from before, here we've written pound. Let's do the sells. Looks like we're always pretty close. We only had one loss out of the 15 that are here. So 96.1% that's operating in this batch. So really good. So if I did all of them, only had one loss. There we go. One loss out of all of these trades that are here. So I feel very confident, very, 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 very confident that we're in the win here. Okay, if I look at my chart here, let's see a 15-minute chart. It's from a different trade here happening right now. I am looking at a sell. Let's see if I can find some good lines in here. It seems to be compressing right around in this, consolidating right around here between the two lines here. Pop down to another consolidation line, just sort of right in this area. We pull back just to look at a little, you can kind of see really strong 87.17 and that draw, but up again at 87, look at about 8,800. But we're looking really strong in this. I wish I would have seen some more support lines in there from our SR. But even at this line, 87.50, 87.40 is right around in this area right here where my marker is. So I'm looking pretty good. I'm looking really strong. Even here at 87.39, 87.40, this consolidation you can kind of see real quick. We have one right here, one right here, one right here. Pierces through, comes back up, kind of plays out and gets some stop hunts out. But again, touches here, gets real close here. I think we're going to be okay. We got, how much time we got left? And we got about 2.5 hours, 2 hours. So anything can happen for 6 pips, but I'm pretty sure the drawdown here on this is going to really suck it into it. Got in for 28 bucks. Loving that. And a lot of this is probably from news from earlier. If we jump back and we look at the news button here, we had some 10:30 news that really pushed the market around. And again, right at 4:15 today, that's the next batch of news. In about 12 minutes, there's a one bull news, so I'm not really worried about it. But everything else is pretty sturdy. I think we're going to keep going with the trend. Because remember, that trend's heading down. We have a downtrend. We had a little consolidation happening, but then came back, a little pullback, and I'm pretty sure we're heading down in that. Bollinger Band stays so. That 20 EMA, 20 SMA in there says so, that we're heading down from this trend. So I think we're perfect. I think we got it in just right at the time, right on that bounce back up. I'm glad we waited to about 12:40. Signal came out at 12:15. Really, really, really super strong. If anything else comes up, I'll let you know, but I'm going to come back and try to spot the winner the last couple seconds for 3 o'clock, and we'll go from there. All right, see you in a minute. All right, so we have a decision to make here because we've had a big outpour of this pair here, reaching to the outside Bollinger Band on this pair. I don't really feel it's going to continue to amass out. I think it's going to end up reaching, because it got to this top line right here from the mean, which is right at the mean. This is going to create that double top mentality. I'm looking for another push back down. So why am I on here right now with you? Well, because there's an opportunity. I'm going to come in and I'm going to grab another market order at $59, $58 and place the order and do that. I'm doing that because it's increased my price average to that level. Now you could do, I'm going to do it just for one contract, which puts 2 contracts in my box, but one for 28 and one for 59 or 58, whatever it was, which brings up my average price to $43. I don't advocate this. If this is a beginner process that you're doing this, you don't do this on every single one. You're looking for these kind of means here to happen. Now, if this yields out, awesome. Okay, because we're looking at $70-something in the profit margin here, okay, per contract. So that's not too bad, right, for an hour's worth of work for one contract. If you want to make 140, do 2 contracts, right? Remember, if you could do this consistently, you just simply add volume to get to your goal, right? So we're using this mentality. We're hoping for a push back down. I'm putting on another contract to go from this level. This is an advanced way of thinking because we're outside the money right now. I wouldn't probably put too much on. I'm just taking the opportunity to seize in a possible retracement here and follow with the trend. I'll see you at in the next microsecond. All right, it's a busy day today. We're back on with a live intraday signal that came out at 1:15. It's approximately 1:15 right now. So I'm really sitting in front of the computer trading all day. So what we're looking at here is the USD JPY. I'll go through my process of 109.22 on the buy. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to run over. I'm going to look at the USD JPY. We're going to look at the 2 o'clock because that's when it's coming up. We're going to look see what's available, right? Because we're looking at 109.22 on the buy. So 109.24.20. There's 20 on the buy. We're pretty far out there. We're not going to, doesn't look like we could possibly hit 24. In fact, I think that's something that looks pretty good. I'm just going to go check the charts here real quick. Go to the USD JPY. Where are we at? We're at, there we are on 15-minute chart. I'm looking here at 102.25 with a good support band here. So I'm going to hit that. I'm going to go with that one on the 24 on the buy right there and do one contract, market order, place order. Now this one here is on a intraday, okay, and this is on the daily, okay. So I'm sitting pretty good. That's $28. That's $28 profit margin there if we can kind of get on that trade. So I'm looking pretty good. This was a in the money trade and then went out the money, and we were able to pick up another set of process there. This one's a little bit, because on the buy I can kind of add 2 points to it, right? Because the indicative pricing is a little bit different on the buy compared to the sell. On the sell, I want to subtract 2 to make up for that margin, and on a buy I can add 2. So it's going to be a pretty close race here, but we're going to be 109.24 again. We have a nice uptrend. I'm going with the trend as we go up. We hit this 29 or this 27 bar here. And again, we're just kind of peeling above that. We're back to the mean again, where we're going to bounce off and continue on with our trend. That's what the deal. Even if it does come down even a little further, it's still going to yield back up. We're hoping it'll do that within the 45 minutes. Easily enough, we can graduate up to a 30-minute chart to look as well as we do a top-down analysis, and 109.20 right there, 109.26 kind of playing here right where we're at. So I think that if we can kind of stay with that, we'll be just fine. If I drop down to a 5-minute chart, there's the 109.27 mark that we're kind of bouncing off just a little bit, but we're at the edge of this Bollinger Band here, right? I have a Bollinger Band set out of the box. Bounce off, head back towards the mean, be back up into this direction on that 5-minute, and that's 109.31. Right in around 20 minutes, 30 minutes from now, it should be up there. So I'm going to pop back in about 2 o'clock to see how well this one does, okay? And then come back at 3 and to look at this one, win, lose, or draw. See you in a minute. Just as a quick update here, popping back in here, showing you that we just pierced the 87.40 level here on our out of the money trade, our ITM OTM trade. And on our intraday, we just look like we're doing pretty good, sitting at 109.32 and about $20 in the positive. We got about 12 minutes left on that particular trade. That trade would have to drop about 9 pips at this time, or 8 pips, you know, real close to 8, 9 pips for it to do that. Could it do it? Absolutely. We're in for $28, but I don't want to leave that other $8 on the table, so I'm pretty sure we're going to be golden. So come back in a second. See you in a second. Like I said, it's very busy today. Another daily signal came up on the USD CAD within a good acceptable time of closure. So I'm going to go over and have a quick look. USD CAD, there's a lot of oil movement earlier, 1.2900. This is a 0 number, so very, very good possibilities. On the sell side, let's go have a look. USD CAD for 3 p.m. on the daily, we're looking at 2,900. Now, again, we're sitting at 2867. That's pretty far off, only because there was so much movement from earlier on at 10:30 with the U.S. oil, and that really does affect the USD CAD quite a bit. So I don't really think I'm going to be getting into one. Could I put on something? Yes, I could do a limit order and do that for the $22 and place the order. And then let me go have a look real quick at the process here. I'm going to isolate USD/CAD, and we're going to see if there's a lot of opportunity for a choke up in the sell direction, but it doesn't look like there is. We're looking for 20 pips or more in the wins column. So 34, 15, 13, 11, too many under 20 pips. So I'm not really feeling very confident under that factor. And with a 94% success rate, if it does fill, I do feel confident about that. I don't see any other news coming on at the 3 o'clock area. So even if it does happen to come back around, because we're sitting at 67 right now. So if it came back up, we would have to come up pretty far for it to bounce back off. Let's go look at the chart real quick and see what direction the USD/CAD is setting in. And of course, it just kind of came off of this high. We've penetrated this area where we're sort of consolidating right now. We probably had a trigger margin happen, and that's what we're looking to do. We're sitting around 28.67 right now. We would have to really come back up pretty far for it to happen, and we bounced off this ceiling. I think if anything, we'd be really punching that 28.73. Could I use this daily indicator, daily system? And let me go look at the intraday. On the intraday as well, we had an opposite side because we were on USD/CAD sell. On the intraday, we had the at 1300, we had USD/CAD buy on that side on 28.61. Do I feel comfortable with doing that? The answer is no. At 2 o'clock, let me see USD/CAD. If we would have taken that 2 o'clock, 28.67, I think it was 28.61 for 2 o'clock. Let me see where we would have been at. Yeah, it looks like we would have probably taken that one as well. We got about 7 minutes left. We would have probably taken that one as well with a good 6 pip run. Yeah, so, but again, I try not to get into too many at any one time. And as you can also see, we've just hit in the positive numbers on the out of the money, in the money trade. So I'm looking pretty good on that. We're still, this isn't a lot of pip tight, so, and we still got about an hour left. So anything could really happen at that point. If we go back and look at the charts real quick, we look at that, Euro Great Britain pound right there. Okay, it's done exactly what I said. It kind of came up, came out of the money here, and then has popped back down. This is the line we're looking at. Okay, because we got here, 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 here. This has really become a heavy support area. Now a heavy resistance area for it to pop back off and continue on down into that pattern. That's how we read these charts, and that's how we read that process. So I'm very, very comfortable with this solution about to unfurl itself for her close to 12 pips in the money on the 09.24 for that trade. So this looks like it's a good win. I'll see you in about 6 minutes. All right, here we go. We got about 1 minute left. I don't think we're going to have a problem with this USD/CAD or USD/JPY. Looks like we're doing pretty good. We're still holding our own on our in the money, out the money trade, sitting at 87.39, but we still got about an hour. So we'll come back to that. Just want to show you the expiry on this, and we do win this. That's a $28 trade minus $2 for in and out. So about 26 bucks made per the contract. We would have put on 10 contracts, but a $260 trade. Not too bad. Expired about 12 points above. Again, we got that right as the signal came out. Got into it almost immediately. Loving that deduction that we kind of came up with as well. The signal was at 109.22. So I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah, 109.22. So we would have we went on even that. Way, way, way out of it. So really good. And there we go. All right, I'll be back in about an hour. Well, in your case, about 2 seconds. But about an hour to see how we end up here. Hopefully we end up pretty good. If not, we're in the loss for about 50 something bucks on that if it does take off. But I think we did pretty good today. We chose the right directions. We're getting into that. We're really just going to be touching back. We'll see you in a second. Like I said, it's a pretty busy day today. We've got that daily that we kind of put in on the 129. The intradays kind of came back out. I want to kind of look at some of these intradays because the Audi JPY for 1400 to 1500, 87.74. I want to go look at that real quick just to kind of pierce down and see from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. What was that again? 82.74 on the buy, right? On the sell. 82.74 on on the sell. 82.77 on the sell, and it looks like we're doing pretty good on that. So I'm going to grab into that, grab that market order and place right in. The reason being that I got into that on that Audi JPY is if I come over to my chart, get to the Audi JPY here, I want you to notice that this line here, 82.77, you see that? Big, huge, nice, thick line. We have some good touches in here. We have this combatant, we have all this line in here, all this line in here, and we're on the outskirts of this Bollinger Band. Really, really smart and it's important that even if the 82.78, 82.77, as you can kind of see right here, 82.77, right? And we had money on it. That was the big thing. We had some money on it. We got in for $25. Can it bounce around? Absolutely. Can it go higher? Yes. In this next 57 minutes, I don't really think it can really hurt us too much. Now, the only thing that I am concerned of is that we are, because we're on the sell, right? We do have a lower low, and if it can kind of stay right here, this would be another lower high, right? So lower high, lower high, lower high, if it can come back down from here. If it does penetrate and come up, we're really looking to see if it stays or it closes above. Now, we only got about 3 bars that we're going to have in this segment, so we're not going to have very much room. But if it does get close, it's not going to get too close. Okay, 87 or 82.78, 82.77, right in that area. I'm more so thinking around 82.76, which will give us a little bit of room for the indicative if it does do that. All right, so we're back on. I'm trying to teach you how to read these things. We're looking like we're doing pretty good. 82.77 on the sell, 82.72 it's sitting right now. We're still sitting at that 87.40 for that in the money, out of the money trade. But again, we got an hour. So I'm seeing that this thing's going to just like plummet down probably in the last 15, 20 minutes, and we won't even look back, and we'll be 50-something bucks up per contract on it. So almost 100, close to right around 80-something bucks from that solution. All right, see you in a second. All right, what a great day. I'm going to come in here to the system. I'm going to copy and paste. I did for what we did for today's trades. I'm going to come in here, go into a spreadsheet. I'm going to right click and I'm going to hit paste. Now, what this did is it kind of put everything in. So what I need to do is separate per trade. I'll just do that real quickly. Payment, put it in here. Here's that settlement for because this is the Euro Great Britain pound from here. Here's a settlement payout for both of those. I'm going to put one right there. Come down here. Here's the other. I'm going to kind of put right there. USD JPY. Right there. That's a whole trade packet right there. And then this one's also a trade packet right there. Okay, so we got this one trade right here, which kind of came out right there. Made $83 for that one. Made this trade today, $26 for that one. This one right here, whopping 24 bucks. Okay, the whole thing for today, $133. Nicely done. Now this is all done with one contract. Now this one here was an OTM trade system that we got that I showed you in the beginning. That's the other one for the intraday that was in between. And so 133 bucks, one contract a piece. This is an afternoon, right? I started a little bit earlier, as you see in the very beginning. Trade didn't work out. Went to the next session. Boom, done. 133 bucks, one contract. How do you make 266? Next time I do 2. 2 contracts. I'll see you next time. This is Max Farrell. This is Dex Trader and Trading Live with Max with the daily signals. See you next time. And as always, trade well.